Everyone. Welcome to the.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be here.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Brace Cohort 3 Batch 1 Onboarding and Program Orientation. Before we start, if you're joining, kindly unmute yourself upon entry so we do not distract other persons who are with us on today's session. And then give yourself a round of applause. You have been resilient, you have put in the effort, and you have been among the successful persons out of thousands of applications to be here with us today as part of the first cohort for this year's BRACE program. And today we'll be speaking on promoting the adoption of climate-smart agricultural practices among African agri-SMEs to mitigate climate and environmental shocks. But before we go with the engagement of today, I would like to run us through the agenda. We'll start with an introduction. So if you're joining us and you're coming in, introduce yourself, network, and meet people, meet your fellow cohort participants. Would have our team member come in to speak about AFC, and then would have our speaker come in to give a keynote on the theme of today's session, and then would have a BRACE program update where we'll be giving insight into the overview, the journey so far, what processes went through before you were selected, the components of the bridge program, and then we'll have a portal walkthrough because that is where you'll be taking most of your sessions for the bridge program. And then finally, we'll be closing with a membership drive. That is for the many we have today that are not yet part of the AFC community, AFC's family. You'll be doing a membership drive and we'll be onboarding you and encouraging you to join us. So I would love everyone. I want to take about 2 minutes now to go to the chat box and use your best emoji to share with us about how excited are you about this program. How excited are you to start this 6 weeks journey of intensive learning? Trust me, by the time you'll be done with the bridge program, you definitely not be the same again. You would have gotten better, wiser, every form of good things you can think about. You would have known the best practices to put into your businesses. So let's go to the chat box, use your best emoji. I can see Dan Nafisa is sharing a dancing emoji. I can see Danny Pamoil is putting a love emoji. Let's hear how excited are you? And introduce yourself. I already see other persons already started introducing yourself. It is amazing to have you join us. We're excited to have you with us. So keep dropping your favorite emoji and sharing with us how you're excited about this book. And then how expectant are you? What's your level of expectations? What are you looking to learn from the BRICE program? I'm very sure you would have gotten one or two insights online, but what are you expecting? What do you want to learn? Why did you come in? Why did you apply for the BRICE program? Would love to know. Okay. So I see a lot of persons. I love the energy in the chat box. It's already overwhelming. A lot of persons. I said in countless emojis. I can't keep up with it, but let's keep the energy going. Okay, so next up I'll be calling on the programs manager at AFC. That's Kachi. She'll be giving us a rundown at what AFC is about and some of the other activities we do at AFC. Hi, Kachi, over to you.
Yeah. Even though you do now. No.
Okay, am I unmuted now? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, and good afternoon from wherever you're joining from. If it's morning, from good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm super excited today to have you all on this call, and I join my colleague to welcome you as you start this transformative journey. of adopting climate smart practices into your business. So who are we at African Food Change Makers? We are a not-for-profit organization that is focused on helping African entrepreneurs to be resilient in starting and scaling their businesses. We recognize that small and medium enterprises are the lifeblood of every African economy. And for us to support these MSMEs that are going through so much challenges, whether it is macroeconomic issues in their different countries or lack of access to funds or not even having the knowledge to start and scale their businesses, we design interventions, we design programs that build that knowledge, build their capacity, and equips them with the knowledge they need to scale their businesses and be resilient. And we have a couple of programs that are our vehicles for helping us achieve this transformation in African businesses. The first is the building resilience against climate and environmental shocks. I'm not going to talk about it because that is what you are all here for, and we'll be making an extensive presentation on the BRACE program. The second program we have is the Leading African Women in Food Fellowship, and we also have our export program. So I'm going to talk briefly about the Leading African Women in Food Fellowship. It is a fellowship that we dedicate to identify transformational people, outstanding women that are doing amazing things in the agricultural space, whether they are trailblazers, whether they are ecosystem enablers, whether they are in the food and beverage sector, whether they are doing something in the processing sector. We recognize them, we celebrate them, we amplify them, and we give them a voice to share about what they are doing in their business and how policymakers can better support them to scale and to be more profitable. Then we have our scaling export program, and that is a program that we designed to equip our African entrepreneurs with the skills they need to access new markets, markets beyond Africa, markets in Europe, in America, and also within Africa, to help them to know what standards and certifications they need to meet to be able to access those new markets. Here at African Food Changemakers, we thrive on building a vibrant community of change makers. We believe that if you want to go far, you shouldn't go alone, you should go with others. So we provide that enabling environment where you can go with others in this journey of entrepreneurship. What is our mission? Our mission is to enable African entrepreneurs to scale resilient and sustainable businesses that feed Africa and the rest of the world. Yes, a productive Africa is an Africa that has achieved food security, and that is what our mission is, to help contribute to the food security of Africa. And what is our vision? We want to see 1 million successful and sustainable African agribusinesses that are transforming the food ecosystem and are recognized and respected across the globe. And what is our footprint? We have a presence in 47 out of 54 countries in Africa. We have over 145,000 people that are constantly coming to our website every day and using the resources that we put on there. We have shared over 125 knowledge sessions, and we have partnerships across the globe, 22 partners and counting. Next slide, please. All right, and how do we do what we do? We provide that community of agripreneurs. We recognize that the journey to entrepreneurship can be a lonely and risky journey. You don't have to do it alone. We are building that vibrant community of other people that are going on the same journey with you to foster a lot of peer-to-peer learning, in addition to the expert learning that we provide on our platform. We've talked about the learnings, which you're going to be experiencing on the BRACE program. And then data and opportunities. We always look out for opportunities to share insights, to share data, to help you make informed decisions about your businesses. And finally, visibility and recognition. We champion our agripreneurs. We promote their businesses because we believe that when they are profitable, when they have visibility, they are more productive, they are more profitable, and they are able to scale. That is what we do here at African Food Change Makers. Next slide, please. All right, and then we also have our changing narratives. In addition to all of the support that we provide, the overarching aim for us is for people to view the way they see Africa and how Africa contributes to global agricultural trade and the value chains. And that is why we try to change the narrative. We try to change the narrative of what Africa is doing, how African business are innovating, how African businesses are making waves. And we do that through a lot of our podcasts, and we'll be inviting you to subscribe to our podcast and really be part of changing this narrative across Africa and across the world. Next slide, please. All right, thank you very much. That is it. That is what we do here at African Food Change Makers. And I hand back over to our moderator right now. Anna, over to you.
Thank you so much, Kashi. That was quite a detailed explanation of what we do at AFC. And to our new potential members, we look forward to having you join our community because that is one of the arm of AFC. Okay, we'll be moving on to and I can see a couple of persons have their hands raised. We'll have a time for question and answer. So do well to jot down your question, or you can drop it in the chat box. I understand the chat box is kind of flooded with a lot of persons being excited and dropping in their chat and introducing themselves. So you can always chat at any of the co-hosts with your questions, or you can wait till when it is time for the Q&A and you'll have the opportunity to ask your question. So we're moving on to the keynote speech, and today we are excited to have Ernest Habanabakize. He's a co-founder of Agri Research Rwanda. Mr. Ernest is an international development enthusiast who believes in developing a new culture to leverage strengths and values that inspires transformational change and provides opportunity that place people at the center. He has a special interest in addressing problems associated with climate change, women and economic empowerment, food security, agriculture, and natural resource management, technological and social innovations. He has designed and coordinated a lot of initiatives related to capacity building, training programs, development, and research action motions in areas of climate change adaptation and planning, food security, and women's economic empowerment across Africa and North Africa. He also has an extensive experience in project management, research, and policy analysis. He's a co-founder of Agri Research Rwanda, a youth-led organization promoting digital and market-oriented agriculture in Rwanda. He's currently also working as an independent consultant to develop nature-based solutions and data-driven decision-making frameworks in agriculture. With a virtual applause, round of applause, every kind of amazing emoji you can use, let us give a welcome Mr. Ernest on stage. Mr. Ernest has been a big supporter of the BRACE program. This is saying it has spoken of his passion. He's very passionate about climate change, and hence he's here to share from his wealth of experience and wisdom with us. Thank you so much, Mr. Ernest. It's great to have you on the call with us today. Hi, Mr. Ernest, over to you.
All right, thank you very much. I wasn't able to unmute myself, so that's why it took me some time. Yeah, so thank you very much for the warm welcome, and what a pleasure it is always to be part of this great community. It's been now almost 3 years or 2 years, I can't remember very well, but it's always my pleasure to be part of these sessions. I'm privileged to be part of the facilitators, of the people who are actually accompanying the initiatives put forth by my African food change makers. There was no better way to introduce what African food changers does, as Kachi did, as she did actually a great job. And I'm very sure people who are new in this platform couldn't wait to actually be part of these changes that we actually we look forward to. So they've already made presentation of who I am. I'm not gonna go repeat that one. So I'm just going to jump into the our conversation today. And again, we are in an era where you can't teach anybody. So because there's resources everywhere for people to access, it's really a time and an era where people need to have the honest conversations of where things are not moving and what's actually not what's hampering the development of agriculture, agribusiness, environment, and then a call to action. It's not that time to try to define concept, climate smart agriculture or whatever that is. It's a time to have a real and honest conversation of what's not going and what's not moving and what's causing the issues, what are the root causes, and what is it that we actually need to do. I do have a very small PowerPoint presentation that I have prepared to actually facilitate our conversation that we're going to be using. Et puis aussi, je sais très bien qu'on est aussi ensemble avec les gens qui parlent français. Je sais très bien aussi que African Food Change Makers est en train de travailler là-dessus pour avoir aussi les sessions en français, pour avoir aussi les notes, les mots dires qui sont aussi rédigés en français. Donc, on va essayer de mélanger le français et l'anglais. Ça va pas être beaucoup, mais quand même, on va essayer de s'assurer que les gens qui parlent français aussi sont ensemble avec nous. Donc, moi, je vais partager, donne-moi une seconde. I hope you guys can see can you see my slides?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, so like they already said, so really we want to be talking about today about promoting climate smart agriculture practices, and all of these is part of it's just one of the foundational things at African Food Change Makers, because like they said, at African Food Change Makers we believe in the holistic approach, because there's no such thing as production or marketing or production, marketing, or any isolated part of agriculture. It has to be really brought in together to produce results. And the foundation of all of this is climate change, because the reason why I'm talking climate change, because it's one of the biggest threats of agriculture in Africa and across the globe. So that's why I'm going to be talking much more about climate agriculture, climate change effects, what it is that is affecting climate change, what it is that we are doing, and what it is that we need to do more, and what the core actions, especially for young people, to actually counter the effects of climate change in agriculture. It might be mostly, I'm going to be talking mostly about production, but again, like I said, there's no isolation when we talk about production or transformation, or it has to be from market to from farm to the markets, right? So and from farm to markets, there's a whole lot of things that happens, and none of those is actually spared from the effects of climate change. And that's why we believe in the power of the young people, because like all of in 2020, 50, the population of Africa is going to double, and most of these people are going to be under 35. You see, so we can't bring any conversation, without bringing the youth at the table, because they're going to be the key pillars. They're going to be actually the pioneers of the people we actually depend on to move things forward, whether in agriculture, whether in technology, or any other sector we want to talk about. So the youth are going to be really the key partners, the key people, or the foundations, or the backbone of these transformations that we're talking about. Not only because they're going to be plenty, but also because we are fortunate to have a generation that is now very skilled in technology. And that's where the affair is. Because back then, when we were growing up, our parents, our generation, people didn't want to go into agriculture because they thought it was just such a hard work, non-productive for poor people, and no business, nothing at all. But now we're talking about agriculture as a business, so agribusiness. So, and for that to happen, we need you. And for that to happen, you guys who are into it need to have all the tools that are needed to actually be successful. And that's why African Food Change Makers is here to create that atmosphere, that environment, to ensure that you have the resilience needed to the shocks, such as climate change, and then to the platform that you need to actually work together to be successful in all areas. It already has been proven that currently the youth-led innovation in agriculture are able to increase productivity up to 35%. So that's why no conversation can go on in this sector without talking about youth. So now, though I said it's not going to be a lecture, but at least some basics that we need to have. What are those shocks that we need to be prepared of? As much as we, require you, or we request you, or we appeal you to actually venture into agribusiness, agriculture as a business, because we know it's an opportunity that we have in Africa. We do also want you to know the threats, because that's where innovation starts. You can't innovate a solution without knowing the problems. The basic of innovation is understanding the problem very well. When you understand the problem very well, that's the beginning of actually knowing the solution. So, I have summarized this into 4 parts. We have droughts, we have floods and erratic rainfall patterns, we have pest outbreaks, and we have food loss. Already 30 to 40% of our crops yields get lost because of drought events in different parts of Africa. These regardless of the country. I know I've been in different African countries, and I know drought is one of the biggest issues that we have currently. And floods and irregular patterns of rain is also a big problem, and is causing a lot of damages in our crop production systems. The pest outbreaks, because of the climate change, because of the heat, because of the change in temperatures, because of the change in the weather, we see new insects, we see new pests coming and moving from one country to the other, moving from one continent to the other. And they are all ravaging the crops in so many different ways, and causing hunger and exacerbating food insecurity. In fact, if you didn't know, food loss, and when we talk about food loss, it can be really anywhere, at the production sites, in the transportation, in the storage areas, or because of the lack of storage equipment, is actually the cause of 50% of the food produced, globally speaking. In Africa, it's 20 to 30%, but globally speaking, 50% of the food produced is lost or wasted annually. that's catastrophic. We need to do something about these things. When we talk about food insecurity, it's not necessarily about not having enough, but it's also about having produced enough food, but not being able to actually store it properly. You see, so and when you see all these problems, that's where innovation starts. That's where you see, oh, okay, what can I do about this? What's need to be done? And as I told you, and as I said, so one of the biggest challenges in agriculture is climate change. Climate change and the drivers and triggers. There are plenty, but we're going to be focusing on those that are encountered in agriculture on a daily basis. And one of the biggest for the rest now, many years is a greenhouse gas emission. Oh, now it's back to this slide. So because I don't want the people who speak French to be lost. Ici, on est en train vraiment de parler qu'est-ce qui cause les chocs environnementaux, climatériels? Quelles sont les choses qui fait que on est ici? Quelles sont les choses qui fait que vraiment les effets du changement climatique nous ont eu de cette manière-là? On est en train de parler de la sécheresse qui contribue de 30 à 40% des pertes des denrées alimentaires. On est en train de parler de l'irrégularité des produits qu'on a eu depuis quelques années. Et tout ça, ce sont des causes vraiment qui causent de la réduction, qui nous sont vraiment des choses qui, qui, qui font que notre agriculture est vraiment, est vraiment pas à la bonne démarche, à la bonne marche. Et puis, comme vous voyez dans les statistiques, il y a 30% de réduction qu'on a des productions à cause de l'irrégularité des produits. Et puis, on est en train aussi de parler les insectes, les pestes. À cause des changements climatiques, on est en train de parler les produits, l'augmentation des températures. On voit maintenant le mouvement des pestes qui sont irréguliers. On voit les pestes qui n'existaient pas dans une telle région, maintenant qui existent. Ça vient peut-être d'un autre continent, ça évolue à cause de l'augmentation des chaleurs ou des pluies, tout ça. Et tout ça, ça cause vraiment des dommages, ça cause des pertes des denrées alimentaires, des pertes considérables même. Puis lorsqu'on parle surtout de l'insécurité alimentaire, les gens pensent souvent que c'est la manque ou l'insuffisance. Pas forcément. Du point de vue global, la moitié des aliments qui sont produits sont perdus à cause des manques de stockage qui sont spécialisés. Et puis, et ça peut être n'importe où. Ça peut être peut-être à la ferme, ça peut être pendant la transformation, ça peut être pendant le stockage. Donc, en Afrique, on est en train de parler 20 à 30% des denrées alimentaires qui sont perdues chaque année. Donc, vous voyez que même ce qu'on produit, même si c'est pas suffisant, mais c'est pas vraiment seulement question d'insuffisance. C'est question aussi de comment on gère, comment on conserve, quels sont les moyens de conservation qu'on a sur place. Et donc là, j'ai amené ce slide, ce 10 pour vous dire que c'est là où on commence à penser. Parce que l'innovation, la vraie innovation commence quand on a compris les problèmes qu'on a. C'est quand on comprend bien le problème, c'est le moment qu'on peut aussi avoir une innovation vraiment forte, vraiment innovation d'arriver terme. Et puis, ici, on est en train de parler quels sont les moteurs qui sont un moteur de ce changement climatique qu'on est en train de parler. Et si on est en train de parler des gaz à effet de serre, en Afrique surtout, même si en Afrique, c'est pas là où on produit beaucoup, mais c'est vraiment l'un des continents qui souffre beaucoup à cause de ces gaz, que ce soit produit en Europe, en Amérique du Nord, mais on est parmi les gens qui souffrent beaucoup des gaz à effet de serre. On voit la déforestation. La déforestation, c'est aussi très fréquent. Et puis, surtout chez nous, et puis dans notre contexte, c'est la manque des pratiques durables d'agriculture. Et ça, c'est très, très important parce qu'actuellement, là, on se parle, à 50% des terres sont dégradées. Donc, même si on est en train de dire, allons-y en agriculture, allons-y pour cultiver. Mais il faut se souvenir que aussi, 50% des sources sont à des gens à dégrader. Et c'est là où on est en train de dire qu'il faut adopter les pratiques intelligentes dans l'agriculture, climate smart agriculture. And that's where it becomes very important because if we're talking about 50% of the land that is degraded in Africa, so we need to take actions. We need to adopt practices. We need to go for technology. We need to actually, go for practices that help us to adapt to the effects of climate change, but also that increase productivity because we say that the population is going to be increasing, but also to mitigate, to avoid those greenhouse gas emission to have an effect on our resilience because there's already damage that has already been caused. So we don't die. So how do we actually come out of the calamity that has been caused? Donc, on est en train de dire qu'il faut adapter les pratiques intelligentes d'agriculture pour non seulement augmenter la productivité, mais aussi pour s'assurer de la résilience. Parce qu'il y a déjà les conséquences qui sont pratiques, comment sur terrain, il faut s'adapter. Il faut avoir l'adaptation. Et surtout la mitigation. Comment est-ce qu'on peut éviter même l'arrivée de ces gaz à effet de serre qui causent les effets du changement climatique? Comment est-ce qu'on peut réduire la déforestation? Quelles sont les technologies qu'on peut mettre en place pour s'assurer que ces gaz qui causent les effets du changement climatique ne sont plus là? And that's where the climate smart agriculture becomes very important as a solution because we need to be productive. We need to increase productivity to bring enough to the markets. We need to be resilient. We need to ensure that the consequences that are already on ground are not putting us down, but we are actually adapting. And more importantly, we need to mitigate. So how do we ensure that those greenhouse gas emissions are avoided for good? How do we ensure that we adopt good sustainable practices? How do we ensure that we have technologies that ensure that we use water efficiently, right? And again, there can be as many as you want them to list, especially for the agribusiness landscape. We're talking about things like water management. We're talking about things like ensuring that we have a good soil health. For example, when you adopt things like regenerative agriculture, it has been proven that you have an increase of 20%. You can decrease water usage up to 50% when you adopt things like drip irrigation. You see, so and in the effects of climate change. So how do you become resilient? How do you ensure that you have diverse crops? How do you ensure that you have crops that are resistant to droughts, that are resistant to rainfall or floods? How do you ensure that you have all these tools or those available mechanisms to defend yourself? And how do you ensure that you're working closely, you're working in harmony with nature? And the backbone of all of these is actually digital and technological innovations. And that's where youth becomes very important. Gonna go into agriculture as my grandparents. So you need to see all those programs that I've mentioned and see how can we leverage the digital age. So which type of technology do we put in place? How can we ensure that artificial intelligence, things like GPS, things like genetic engineering to ensure that you have crops that are adapted. How do we go back also to take knowledge from our forefathers, things like regenerative agriculture, to ensure that our soil is back to the track? 50% of the soil is already degraded. C'est ce qu'on disait récemment pour dire que les pratiques à adopter sont nombreuses. On est en train de parler, par exemple, ici que la gestion, par exemple, de l'eau de goutte à goutte peut diminuer l'utilisation ou l'usage d'eau jusqu'à 50%. Vous voyez là, ça c'est très important. On est aussi en train de dire l'adoption des pratiques les génératrices qui peut augmenter la fertilité du sol jusqu'à 20%. Et puis on est en train de dire, alors qu'on a déjà les effets, les conséquences du changement climatique, qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire? Il faut se réveiller, il ne faut pas qu'on rêve. La diversification des crops, par exemple, il faut adopter les pratiques de la génie génétique pour assurer qu'on a les plantes qui sont adaptées aux différentes sortes de climats, que ce soit les pluies, les grillés, que ce soit la sécheresse. Il faut s'assurer qu'on a ça. Et par exemple aussi, avec l'arrivée de l'intelligence artificielle combinée avec la génie génétique, on peut s'assurer qu'on peut aussi augmenter la durée de vie des denrées alimentaires pour éviter les pertes comme on a vu précédemment. Donc, il y a une gamme de solutions qui sont sur place, mais aussi la fondation, c'est la technologie. Parce qu'avec les jeunes en agribusiness, la technologie, c'est vraiment le backbone, c'est vraiment la fondation pour résoudre les problèmes qu'on vient de mentionner liés au changement climatique dans le milieu business agriculture. Et puis, ça, c'est l'avant-dernière slide. This is before the last slides, because I don't take much of your time. The speaker who just started say that what African food change makers is doing is actually to ensure that we have a neighboring environment, so that you can be together with the like-minded people. You reason together. So you actually, you go to one another. You see, so and there's no way you can be an all-in-one tool. So you can be technician, but then don't have access to finance. You don't know how to do. You can have the technological background, but then you don't have the good policy in place to help your technical tools or your technology. So there's need to come together, policymakers, financial institutions, NGOs and policymakers to ensure that actually all these things work together for good. And I'm saying this because, at the end of the day, you need money to implement some of these strategies, because you're not gonna have the technology around and say where problem resolved. No, it's not about money around too, because you can have money, but when you have money and there's not good policy environment, it's gonna be wasted, or the efforts are not gonna be seen, or they are not going to bear the fruits that are desired, or the fruits that are actually sustainable. So you see, so that's why there need to be collaborative initiatives across groups, and folks, especially you guys, need to be aware of those things. We can't all be in one aspect of agriculture. Some people need to venture into the policy aspect. Some other people need to venture into the financial support. Some other people need to venture into other parts of the value chain to ensure that the whole things, the whole movement is progressing as a holistic approach. So now, this is a call to action. Like I said, this is not a lecture kind of thing. It's a conversation that we're going to be having. So what's need to be done? What I have just illustrated is not new to you. I'm very sure. It's just a reminder. It's just reminding ourselves that actually, what are the biggest problems that we're having into our sector, into the agribusiness sector, into the production, the transformation, and what are the shocks, what are the drivers, and how can we use the opportunities that we have as young people in Africa as the drivers of change, the technological edge, to actually bring innovation that only increase productivity, but that also help us to be more resilient and ensure that we mitigate the effects of climate change. Et c'est ça, vraiment, c'est un appel en action, c'est ce que je disais. Tout ce que je vous ai dit, c'est pas nouveau pour vous, je sais très bien. Ce sont des choses que vous connaissez déjà, mais c'est une conversation, c'est un rappel, parce que lorsqu'on s'assied ensemble et on se dit, mais qu'est-ce qui ne va pas? Qu'est-ce qui se passe? Là, on peut dire, maintenant, on se réveille pour l'action. Parce que, comme je vous ai dit, l'adoption des pratiques intelligentes de l'agriculture, surtout pour les jeunes, c'est vraiment la marche à prendre. C'est vous, parce que, comme on a dit, 50% des gens en Afrique, ce sont des jeunes qui sont à moins de 35 ans. Et puis d'ici 2050, la population va doubler. Ça va surtout être des jeunes. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait? Maintenant, on est présenté devant nous, il y a les défis, il y a des défis climatiques, et j'aurais les ai mentionnés, mais vous reconnaissez déjà. Mais on a aussi les opportunités. L'Afrique a mis en avant les jeunes. Il y a aussi, on est dans l'ère digitale, là où on a la technologie, l'intelligence artificielle. Il y a tout ce qu'on a besoin pour s'assurer qu'on devient résilient au choc du changement climatique. On devient plus productif et puis on met en place les mesures pour s'assurer qu'on s'adapte et puis il y a les effets mitigatoires aux effets du changement climatique. Mais pour y arriver, il faut travailler ensemble, chacun dans sa partie. So, like I said, this cannot be done by one person alone. It has to be a group effort. It has to be a concert effort where everybody take their actions, where everybody take their role. And you have to be aware of all the key players. So whether it's policy, whether it's in finance, whether it's in opportunities for grant and funding, so that everybody know where to go for what. And for that, African Food Change Makers is there to support you guys in navigating all those channels, ensuring that there's harmony and there's concerted efforts to ensure that we all arrive at the Africa that we have always needed, with no hunger, and with a youth at the forefront of agribusiness. Thank you very much. I'm always happy to be with you, to interact with you guys. And it's always my pleasure to actually share with you my insights and hear from you where you are moving. I always hear stories of the people who come back to me, because I see here a lot of people who write to me at Instagram, at LinkedIn, telling me stories of successful changes, people who have gone far, people who have gone for studies, who have their business improved, people who have adopted the productive measures, who have put in place technologies to improve their productivity, and I can't be happier. Donc, je suis très content d'être avec vous. J'entends toujours les gens qui viennent chez moi à LinkedIn avec des messages, des histoires de succès, de ce que vous avez fait dans votre agribusiness, des gens qui ont eu des opportunités d'arrêter continuer leurs études, les gens qui ont qui ont mis en place les technologies pour améliorer leur business en agriculture. Moi, je suis très content toujours de vous entendre. Je suis ravi d'être avec vous, and I can't be happier. Thank you very much for having me, and I look forward to continue to have discussion with you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ernest. That was quite detailed, and I love the diversity because for those who are on the call, we also have French-speaking brace participants. That's why he was fluctuating between English and French to ensure that our French-speaking participants are able to catch up and also learn from him. So we are open to question and answers. So please, if you have any question, do drop it on the chat box, and certain Mr. Ernest would be more than happy to respond to them. And in the meantime, I'm seeing a lot of persons saying, thank you so much. It was a great presentation. And a number of persons are asking if we can, the recording would also be shared online, so you would be able to still re-listen and relearn. And so if you have any question, you can drop it in the chat box, or you can raise your hand up using the raise hand emoji. Please note that the question should be related to the presentation and what our speaker shared here today. We'll have another opportunity for question and answers for brace related questions. How do I access the portal? When do we come? How do I do this? Would be answered later by our team members. So if you have any question, it should be related to what our speaker just presented. So I would give an opportunity for 2-3 persons, and they would ask their question. And please note, do ensure to keep your questions brief, just straight to the point, and you get your response. Thank you. So I'll be unmuting Dr. Abba. Kindly, please go ahead to ask your question.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, good evening. Credence to the wonderful presentation. My question goes this way. He has enumerated very fantastic issues regarding the challenges of the agriculture in terms of the fraud, the drought and all that. But in Nigeria, specifically Benue State and other states, we have been bedeviled with the issue of insecurity. Most of our farmers here, most of them left their farmlands. And I wish it's one of the clusters that should be very prominent and should be measured or be prominently featured, because it's one of the areas affecting us, giving us a drawback in agriculture as regards to the food basket of the nation Nigeria, Benue State.
Yeah, so no, thank you very much for your question. That's now these days we're even talking about because we've always talked about food insecurity as it relates to climate, but now it's about actually there's insecurity, like he rightly mentioned. And that's becoming a major concern. Not only in North, I imagine Borno is maybe in the north, but also I know in the north of Nigeria, there's all those type of issues. But it's not the same. It's not only North Nigeria. We're talking about the same thing in Congo. We're talking about the same thing in different parts of Africa. That has become a major problem. And remember, sir, that's why I said it has to be really concerted efforts. And that's why I said this is a conversation, it's not a lecture, because how do you do that? For example, here, do we have a governor here? Do we have any minister here? No, we don't, because those are political issues, but which affects food security, which affects production, which affects agribusiness, right? So, and that's why this conversation can't get further if we don't involve the policy makers, if we don't involve the government, because the issue you just raised is actually practical, but I don't have a solution to that. It's one of the biggest challenge of our age this day. Food insecurity as it relates to insurgencies. It's a very big issue, and I don't have any answer to that. The answer can be gotten from the policymakers, from the government, the actual government, because how do you ensure that your country is safe? Because there's no such thing as an advance, as technology, as innovation in any area, if you want to call so, if there's no safety. Safety is a priority. And that's why you hear some of the presidents in Africa, they say, I would rather die, but my people be safe. Because whether you bring technology from planet, but the country is not safe, so what? What do we do? So I think the only contribution I can have to that question is we need to bring also decision makers to the table to ensure that. So can you imagine, for example, somebody who have the money investment, somebody invest a lot of money, they make a very, very good climate smart agriculture farm, and then overnight insurgencies or terrorists come and just ravage the whole thing or ravage the village and the people have to flee. So that one is not, I can't do much, you can't do much, but governments can do something about it. So that's why we need to be together. We need to ensure that everybody is involved, and we have to bring people from different aspects, have different backgrounds at the table to ensure that while we have advances in technologies to face these challenges, we do also have people who can make the real solution, on the ground. And we need to be talking about that. It's something that is not always brought on board. Sorry that I didn't even mention that, but I know what you probably want to say is we need to be saying it so people see that as a big issue. Yes, it's a big issue, and we need to bring at the table as well.
Thank you so much, Ernest. I think Francio Kabasele, please unmute and ask your question. Hello, Francio. Okay, so I think Francio has been kicked out. We would just call it a day with the question. Please, our keynote speaker would have to drop off because he has other things he needs to do. So if you have any other question, you can always reach out to him via LinkedIn. He shares a lot through LinkedIn. I'm certain he'll be there to respond. And then if it's any other question, I think the team would be ready to and willing to address it during the session. Thank you so much. It is always a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for always being readily available to respond. And we look forward to also having you take one of the LIS sessions for this cohort. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful. But before we let you go, I would like to ask everyone on the call to turn on their camera so we can take a virtual screenshot. This is like our first picture for this cohort. Put on your best smile. Your smile should be bigger than mine. Like, I want to see all your 32s. So give your best smile, and we'll be taking the screenshots. Ensure you when you post your screenshots. Oh, today was your first session of the Brace onboarding program, and you share your expectations. You're looking forward to 6 months of learning, relearning, and unlearning. Tag the facilitator, tag African Food Change Makers, and we'll definitely share and engage with you. And do well to follow us also so that you're always in the loop of all our communications. So hi team members on the call, please let's take the screenshot. So I would in 1, 2, 3, let us give our best smile. Cheers everybody. Okay, I'm not seeing some people's teeth. Like I need your smile to be way more bigger than mine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, Mr. Ernest. We are really grateful. And for those who are asking for the screen, you would have this, with this session is recorded, so you would always have the opportunity to listen to it and also pick out any of the points in which you might have missed. So going forward now, I'll be calling on the podium, virtual podium, Amaka. She is the program coordinator of the Breeding Resilience Against Climate and Environmental Shocks program. And she would be introducing you to what the program is about. I know a number of persons applied and they just know it's climate, it's climate, it's climate. So she will give you the in-depth insights to what the whole program is about and what you should be expecting. Hello, Amaka. Over to you, please.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you, Ernest. Please confirm you can hear me. Hi, Anna. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can
I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Anna, and thank you, and Ernest, for that insightful presentation. I mean, that will really go a long way to charge our participants to put in their best in this program. So to our participants, congratulations to being selected for this program. Your presence here today is a testament to your commitment to building a more sustainable, climate resilient future for African agricultural sector. So the BRACE program was born out of a pressing need, the need to equip African agripreneurs with the knowledge, the tools, and resources to navigate the growing challenges posed by climate change and environmental shocks. We have all witnessed the devastating impact of erratic weather patterns, just like Ernest mentioned, the prolonged drought, the floods, the soil degradation, and rising temperature on our food system. And these challenges are not far-fetched. I mean, they are immediate realities that demand our urgent and innovative responses. So I'm happy that you guys have taken that bold step to apply for this program and you have been selected. So BRACE is an acronym and the full meaning is Building Resilience Against Climate and Environmental Shock. It's an intensive capacity development program that we at African Food Change Makers have designed to support African small and medium entrepreneurs like you in the agribusiness landscape, so that you will be aware of how your business operations affect climate change, and also to help you develop strategies that will help you adapt and mitigate the impact of climate change to climate smart agricultural practices. So next slide, Anna. So for the objective you intend to achieve with this program is to enhance the capacity of 3,000 agri-SMEs by equipping them to build resilience, climate change, and establish sustainable agribusinesses. So we intend to equip you with a comprehensive understanding of climate change, and also for you to understand the impacts of your operations in climate change as well. We also intend to support you develop adaptive strategies to address climate change challenges within your agribusiness operations. Again, want to facilitate the development and deployment of mitigation strategies against climate change to enhance your business outputs and also contribute to job creation. I mean, when you're able to adopt all these practices, your business tends to grow, you scale your business, and of course, that will prompt you to bring in more staff to help you, in your business. And that contributes to job creation generally, as well as increasing your output. Also, we also want to enable participants to explore climate financing options and assess key opportunities within the broader ecosystem. So the journey so far about BRACE, of course, you have been selected because you met the criteria. You are above 18 years, and of course, you're an African citizen and you reside in any of the African countries, and also your business is registered. So these are minimal the criteria why you have been selected in the BRACE program. So let's talk about our journey so far and what we've been able to achieve. The BRACE program was actually launched on 6th April 2023. So it's good to say this is our third year, and we've made a lot of impact so far. about 1,750 participants have graduated from this program, with 100% youth and 31% women across 43 major African countries. And over time, we achieved 85% satisfaction rate from BRACE participants. And this actually reflects the program's effectiveness and also shows how positive our program is. Again, a total of 756 participants have identified and adopt climate resilience practices, and that have led to 815 new jobs that was created. So in a nutshell, this highlights the program's significant impact that helps to, again, we've been able to expose our participants to our study visit. So far, we've conducted about Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania, and Ghana. So this program is not just a virtual learning. It's a hybrid learning, actually, where we expose our participants to a climate facility. We are the one that identify those facilities and host participants. So I must say that you're in the right place. After learning the portal, we're going to take it far from there to expose you to this innovation. You know, one thing is about you learning having the knowledge, having the information, and another thing is you seeing it and, you know, understand how these things works. That motivates a lot of participants to go back to their own agribusinesses and start practicing this innovation. So that tends to increase adoption as well. So generally, this study visit provides participants with valuable exposure to climate smart and innovative agricultural solutions. Again, we always help our participants in terms of visibility. You know, yes, they've learned their innovations, they are doing well in their business, but they need to gain that visibility. People need to know them, people need to see what they are doing. And that's, for BRACE, we've been able to secure speaking engagement for our participants. And last year, during the United Nations General Assembly side events, we were able to host 2 of our BRACE participants who are one of 2 of them actually participated as the panelists in the session. And also we showcase participants in TV events, and 20 participants have so far been featured in our IG showcase and other AFC social media platforms. Showcasing participants' businesses and their activities helps to share their stories and amplify their visibility, like I said earlier, and then the general program impact as well. Again, we consistently share funding opportunities with our BRACE alumni because we understand they need all that support in terms of financing, in terms of information, and in terms of market linkages. So we always provide that information, start opportunities for our participants to participate in. And a number of them have been lucky to be selected in some of the grants they apply, and also the information we've shared have helped them to scale their businesses. Again, we also visited some of our participants. Like I said, it's a hybrid learning. We don't just do only virtual. During our study tour, we're able to interact with our participants. In fact, we went to their farms and, you know, conduct interviews because we're preparing for our documentary, and that gives us room to understand our participants and be able to, you know, talk to them very well. So the application statistics, like I said, and Anna also mentioned that at the beginning, that we receive a lot of applications, about 3,733 applications, and 3,402 was selected. Out of 33% of them is female, while 67% is male. Again, by agribusiness sector, we received 63% from crop production, 27% from animal production. Fishery is 8%, sorry, while forestry is 3%. And then for value chain disaggregation, the bulk of you are from the crop production, followed by processing and retail and marketing, while logistics followed, and then the others as well. So that's the statistics of the application, and we receive applications from different countries, about 43 African countries, but the top 10 are Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, Uganda, South Africa, Tanzania, Malawi, Rwanda, Zambia, and DRC. Next slide, Anna. Next slide. Okay, next slide is, okay, let's talk about the program components and the expectations. So after this onboarding, you'll be able to have your access to the learning portal, and immediately you log in, you'll be able to fill in the pre and post diagnostic tool. That's the pre-diagnostic tool, sorry, is the first thing that will pop up. Actually, we want to use that to understand your current status of adoption, how you're operating currently in your business, what are you doing, what are the climate innovations you are currently practicing. And you are going to still do this same test after your learning. We want to measure the gap. We want to measure, is there improvements before and after you finish your learning in our portal. And then we have the e-learning. The e-learning is actually the 6 modules content that we've been able to record and put in our portal. It's self-paced, and industry experts have done justice to those topics, the 6 topics that we've identified that help us to tell all the issues and discussions you need to know about climate change and environmental shock and all the strategies to mitigate and adapt. So you'll be able to go through the modules. For week 1, we have the module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, and module 5. After, we should be able to take the assessments and assignments. But before then, we have what we call the live interactive sessions. So as we have 6 modules, we also have 6 live interactive sessions. This live interactive session is a platform whereby we invite industry experts like Mr. Ernest to engage you further, to understand and transform more information and innovation that will help you to transform your business into sustainable agribusiness across the value chains. And they will be able to assist you in creating business model that will help you to enjoy and explore many opportunities that you need to scale your businesses, and you need to actually participate in this live interactive session. The 2 things that will earn you our certificate is that you need to participate at least 60% in the live interactive session, and you also need to take your assessment and score at least 60% before you'll be able to gain the certificate as well. We have the assignment and the assessment, like I said earlier. For assignment, it's not necessarily compulsory. It's just as a case study and assignment that we give you that will help you to learn more and also understand what happens in your region and how you'll be able to navigate. Sometimes some of them are even a research that you need to do in your location, because there are a lot of things that might be happening that you don't know that these are the triggers of climate change. But with this assignment, you'll be able to understand and identify those triggers and do your research so that you can be able to be better off in managing your agribusiness sustainably. Why the assessment is compulsory, each module has its own assessment. So if you finish module 1, you have to take the assessment for module 1 before you proceed to module 2. And then once you are done with module 2, you also do the same by taking the assessment. So you have to continue like that until you get to the 6th module before you'll be able to do the post-diagnostic tool, and then you'll be able to download your certificate. Kindly know that only participants who complete and fulfill all these program requirements will receive our formal certificate and also enjoy other benefits like the study visit I mentioned earlier. If you did not complete the learning and didn't get your certificate, you will not be able to be onboarded as our BRACE alumni, and you will not enjoy all the benefits. For instance, if you are having a study visit in Rwanda, you will not be able to participate. Yes, you're a program applicant, but you are not a BRACE alumni because you're unable to finish. You did not attend 60% of the LIS, or you did not score above 60% to earn the certificate. So I will encourage you to pay attention to all this and ensure to meet all the requirements so that you'll be able to get the certificate. So we want to identify our funders. The funders of this program is Cohort Foundation. And also we have other program partners that support what we do. We have the Sahel Consulting, we have the ICRW, we have the Food and Land Use Coalition, and also we have the Climate Action Africa and Landemil Limited. Shout out to our funders and our partners. They've really been so helpful and supportive in making this BRACE program successful. Next slide, Anna. So next is our faculty members, just like you have in your university where you have your lecturers and you have the students and also the HODs and the lecturers. We also at BRACE also have our faculty members, and one of them is Mr. Ernest that just gave us the keynote speech. And you're going to meet other faculty members during the live interactive session. And you'll be able to have the opportunity to ask a lot of questions and learn from their wealth of experience when it comes to climate mitigation and adaptations. Next slide. Hi, Anna, next slide. So why Brace provides the platform, the real impact comes from you. Your passion, your dedication, and willingness to innovate is what matters. I'm happy that you people are now have applied for this program and we selected you. But then the ball game, the main thing is you now put in your efforts to learn so that we'll be able to gain our certificate and enjoy other benefits. Because together we have the power to drive climate smart agriculture and create sustainable solutions and build a resilient food system for Africa. So as we begin this cohort, I encourage you to engage fully, ask questions, collaborate and maximize this opportunity. Also think beyond traditional practices and embrace climate smart solutions because true changes happen through community and shared knowledge. Thank you so much. And before I go, I'm going to leave you with this video whereby you watch and let's embark on this journey together, not just as an individual, but as a collective force for climate resilience and sustainable food system in Africa. Thank you.
We are delighted that you have made the critical decision to embark on this exciting learning adventure called Brace, Building Resilience Against Climate and Environmental Shocks. This program is designed and implemented by African food changemakers with the support of the Skoll Foundation. Over the next 6 weeks, you will gain critical insights into the climate change agenda and why it matters to your agribusiness. Every entrepreneur and every employee of an agri-food business must recognize that climate change is one of the biggest challenges facing us as humanity. The agriculture and food sectors are significant contributors to climate change and also face the brunt of its impact on their businesses. Not only does climate change affect temperatures and water levels, but also causes droughts and floods and exacerbates soil degradation. This ultimately affects farmer productivity levels, fosters pest and disease outbreaks, and leads to higher post-harvest spoilage rates and livestock sickness and deaths. In spite of the stark realities, you can play a critical role in mitigating climate change and also ensuring that your business adopts climate-smart practices and enhances its resilience. This is why your decision to embark on this journey with African food changemakers is such an important one. It will definitely make an incredible difference in your life and in your agribusiness. Brace yourself for 6 weeks of self-paced learning, virtual live training sessions, and assessments. Our hope at African Food Changemakers is that this program will equip you with the knowledge, skills, and tools to ensure that your business can become more resilient and even thrive in the face of climate change, and that you ultimately become a climate champion. We look forward to riding this exciting adventure with you to build a sustainable future for the African food ecosystem.
Okay, thank you so much. We look forward to having you this small journey. I just like a macaque. 6 weeks journey, right? Sorry. I believe that you have a lot of learning on learning and learning that is to enjoy. The moment we have all been waiting for, it is time to unveil the cohort 3 badge 1 participant of the Brace program. And to do me this honor, I'll be calling back to the podium stage again, our virtual podium. We don't have a physical podium. The virtual stage, our program manager, Kachi, to unveil and announce the cohort 3 badge 1 participant. Over to you, Kachi. Kachi.
Okay. Yes, I just
Thank you.
unmuted myself. Thank you
Okay.
very much, Anna. Thank you for that presentation also, Amaka. Now, it is my pleasure and my singular honor on behalf of our Executive Chair, Temi Adegoroye, to unveil the Batch 1, Cohort 3, 2025. Today marks the beginning of an important journey, one that requires commitment, innovation, and a shared vision for a more resilient and sustainable agricultural future. Agriculture is not just about producing food, it is about securing livelihoods, strengthening communities, and safeguarding our environment for future generations. The challenge posed by climate change are real, even though some people, even the President of the United States, Donald Trump, does not believe that climate change is real, but it is real. And so are also the opportunities with the challenges we go through in climate change. And through this program, our BRACE program, you'll be gaining practical knowledge, you'll be understanding proven strategies, and above all, you have a network of peers and mentors that will help you navigate the challenge and to transform your agribusinesses. But success in this journey will depend on your willingness to learn, your ability to adapt and implement some of these things that will be taught as you go through this journey. I encourage you to embrace this opportunity with an open mind, actively engage in every session, and apply the insights you have gained to the work that you do in your different businesses. Your dedication will not only impact your business, but it will also help to contribute to the broader goal of building a resilient food system across Africa. Today, we are shaping the future of Africa. Let's make this count. Congratulations to you all once again. And on that note, I unveil Cohort 3, Batch 1, BRACE Participants 2025. Congratulations once again. Your journey to transforming your agribusiness has just begun. Over to you, Anna.
Thank you so much, Kachi, and congratulations to our Cohort 3 Batch 1. We had much more persons, like in thousands, but then these are the few faces. Definitely you would see other person faces going forward. So I'll be calling on our web developer Victory, who will be taking us through the portal walkthrough. Hi Victory, over to you.
All right, thank you, Anna. Please confirm that you can hear me. All right, thank you. Thank you, my manager Kashi and also Amaka for speaking more on the theoretical part of the portal. So Right now, we'll be going to the portal so that we see everything live. So let me share my screen. Please confirm that you can see my screen now. Okay, so any moment from now, you'll be receiving an email from us that will contain the details that you use to access our portal. So I will just use this link as the one that has been sent to me. I'll click enter. Okay. So this email that is showing here that you're seeing is your email that you use to register for the program. Why this password is the password that will be sent to you. So after you log in, you should change it afterwards. So let me click login. So by the time you click login, this is the first page that you see, which contains your details. So for now, these are my details. So I will now click next. Okay, so you see this, and you now click start. So by the time you click start, you will see this page with these questions. So you are expected to answer all these questions correctly. So for this very account, this user, which is me, I've answered this question to this very level. So I will answer the remaining ones, then we'll go into our portal. So I will click next. Also, while answering all these questions, you can save and exit if you are tired, but it is advisable that you answer the question at once so that you can access the portal. So let me click next. So I will now click login to learning portal. So these are still my details, so I will now click login. So this is now our dashboard. So that is after you've completed, those questions and login. So you get to the dashboard. So on the dashboard, you will see from the top, you see English, you see French. So here you can decide to switch to French if French is the language that you understand better. So by default, the language that you see here is English. So let me switch to French. So everything on this portal now will be. Now I will switch to the language is English. So the next that you need to do after accessing your portal, the next thing here is modules. So let me click on it. So when you click on modules, you will see all the modules that we have on our portal, which are the modules that Amaka talked about earlier on. So each modules, we have courses on each module. So for the first one, let me click on this very one so that we see some of the courses we have here. So you can see the courses we have here on this module 1. So let me click on this very first one, which is introduction. Okay, so you see this course here now, more like the introduction. So you can, at the top here, you will see this switch here, show French version. So by default, it's going to show you the the English version. So by the time you toggle this, it's going to show you the French version of this very course. So let me play this very course. All right, so I will switch it back to English, then I will also play it so that we see. Look at your right, how the session. So here you can type if you have any question, you any issue, you have anything or any comment you want to, drop based on the video, you drop it by this side. All right, so I'll go back to the modules. So like I said, these are all the modules that we have, and you are expected to go through all these modules completely. So I will go to the next one. So next one is assessment history. So this very user has completed an assessment and has gotten 76.17%. So as you are going through this these modules, the course inside this module, at the end of the courses, you will see an assessment and also assignment. So as you take this assessment and assignment, your score will be calculated and will be graded gradually here. So that's why we are saying this 76.17%. So when you are fully done with all the courses, that's when you'll be able to start what we call the post-diagnostic questions. So by the time by the time you are done with that assessment, that's when you'll be able to download your certificates from this very portal. So if you go further, you see these top scholars. So we normally have our top scholars here. So if you happen to be one of them, you will be captured here. The next one is self-help. So we have videos here that will actually help you based on any issue at all that you are encountering. So if you have any issue at all while using this website, the first place you need to come to is this self-help. So you go through these videos to see if whatever issue you are encountering is actually solved in this video. So when you go through it, you see that most of initially we are not actually praying or hoping that you encounter any challenge, because the portal is built in a way that it will be very easy for you to use. You are not going to have any challenge. But if it happens, please come over to this self-help and watch some of these videos. You'll be able to find the solution to your problems. So the next one is settings. So under the settings, you will see where you can upload your profile picture for your account. So by the time you click upload, it will take you to where you need to select your image or your picture. Then you go ahead and click upload. So initially I said we are going to send you an email after now, that will contain a password. Then also the email that you use to register for this very cohort with the password that will be sent to you. That's what you will use to access this portal. So we advise that after logging into this very portal with that password and your email, that you come over here and change that password to a new password that you like or you will use. So by the time you put your password here, then you update. Once it is updated, moving forward, that's what you now use to access this very portal. So the next button there is the log out button. So that's when you want to log out of this portal. Once you click on it, and it will log you out to the portal. So by your top right, you will see this profile icon, and you can see your account settings here too. So everything now has been touched, and I believe you understand how to use this portal better. So I don't know if you have any question, but if you have any question, please do put it on the chat box, or you'll be called to answer your questions. Thank you very much, and congratulations once again on selection to participate in this course.
Thank you so much, Big C, on such a very detailed portal walkthrough. So it's time for question and answers. Please raise your hand up or drop it in the chat box. I can already see a couple of persons have asked their question in the chat box, so we would be having the Brace team address it. And if the questions you intend to ask has been asked, please do not ask it again. So I will start with the question in the chat box. Someone is asking if there's funding along the way. This is not a program that gives you funding. It helps you to develop resilience for your business. And because this is a $1,000 funded program, so our partners paid $1,000 per person for you to be able to learn all this, everything the Brace program has to offer you for free, completely free, without any monetary commitments from you. And how do I get access to the login details displayed? Just like Obitri has shared, you would get the login details sent to your email from the Brace team. And I can see a couple of persons already sharing WhatsApp group. The Brace team has not created any WhatsApp group. A WhatsApp group will be created for faster communication. If you have any challenge or you want to drop in comments, you want to connect with people, that is the group we would be creating. So any group you are joining right now, it's at your own risk. So and the link to the group would also be shared in the email that will be shared with you. That is how you know that this is a WhatsApp group that has been created by AFT. So do not join any other group. If you join any other group, it is at your own detriment or risk. AFT is not accountable to it. And someone is asking, are we sending the email? I think it's the link. Yes, you would be getting the link by email, and also the recording to this whole session via email. And do you need copies of the presentation? Would try to get the presentation from our speaker and see how we can get this across to you. So while I look at other questions in the chat box, let's have Malwale or mute, please, and ask your question. Please just go straight to the point, ask your question, and we would respond. Thank you.
Good day. May you please send the portal link to our emails? Thank you.
Okay, just like I have shared that we would be sharing the link to your email alongside your password, how you need to log in, and also the link to our WhatsApp group. So if anybody's asking the same question, it has been answered. Okay, so let's have Nadia. You can unmute and ask your question.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nadia from DR Congo, but I don't know to speak a very good English. I will speak in French. La question était de savoir, nous avons participé à cette séance. Moi, personnellement, je n'ai pas tout compris. Je n'ai pas bien compris ce que vous avez parlé, surtout l'intervention qui a suivi, celui d'Ernest. Je n'ai pas bien compris. Et la suite. Alors, est-ce qu'il y aura un moyen de nous faire un résumé de ce qui a été dit? Je ne sais pas s'il y a quelqu'un qui m'écoute. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadia. Apologies because I actually do not speak French, so I don't understand your question, but I think you can drop it online, and my team members would just type it in French in the chat box. My team members will pick the questions and answer to you. And then for our French participants, before we go ahead with the questions, I would like to share that from moving forward, next week we'll be having French live translation. So as we are having, would have our own French LIS, so completely French and completely English. So the French speaking participants would join that of French and English would join that of English, so as to be able to save time, because having to speak and translate is also consuming time, and also you'll be able to have more opportunity to express yourself and learn better. So let's have, so Nadia, kindly drop your question in the chat box. I will pick it up from there and respond. So let's have Sani. Can you unmute and ask your question?
Good afternoon. Hello.
We can
Good
hear you.
afternoon.
Kindly speak.
Thank you. My name is Sonia Adela from Ibadan, Nigeria. You mentioned that anybody that joined any WhatsApp group now is at his own risk. But the mail I received yesterday for this onboarding this thing, there is a particular WhatsApp thing that we should join. So from the mail, there was a link there that I click and I joined the Brace WhatsApp group. Is that one not part of what you are talking about? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sani. That's what I shared. If you did not get a WhatsApp email from the Brace team, or the email is not having afthub.org, so the email you got with the WhatsApp link is from us, so you can join. But what I was trying to address was the WhatsApp link I am seeing in the chat box. We are not the ones who created it. Any WhatsApp group that is shared from us, their email, it's safe for you to join. And also would love, so as to know who we are communicating with, it will be on WhatsApp with our real names for just the period of 6 weeks, because we can see a couple of nicknames, and it will be hard to be able to figure out who is who. So please rename yourself on the group, at least indulge us for these 6 weeks, and name your WhatsApp or something, your WhatsApp username with your full name. It would go a long way in helping us to address and know who we are speaking to per time. So let's have Abdullahi Kamara on mute, please, and ask your question.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yes, I'm having a bit challenge because I'm traveling to city coming from remote area. So I would like to know the mode of training in terms of timing. Do we need to start from morning till evening without a break? Also, are we going to include the weekends? Because we want to see how best we can prepare to strike the balance with our normal work. Thank you. In terms of timing and in terms of days, are weekends also inclusive? Thank you.
Okay, so thank you so much for your question. The BRACE program is a self-paced learning portal. So you can come and take your it's open for a period of 6 weeks. You can come anytime, midnight, morning, evening, to take any of the courses. You can take a whole module in 3 hours. It's at your own pace. So the only time where we come together as a cohort is doing the LIS, and LIS are once in a week. Mostly it's going to be the same time, Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. West African time. So that is the time where we come together. Facilitators take you on the module you've had for the week. If this week we spoke about climate financing, the facilitator that will be coming that week would come and also address climate financing or any other questions you have that is linked to the module. I hope that answers the question. So let's have so please, I can see a lot of hands raised. We cannot be able to respond to everybody. So if you have not joined the WhatsApp group, do well to go to your email, click on the link and join the WhatsApp group, and then all your questions will be addressed there. And then you can also type your question in the chat box, especially for our French speaking participants. My team members on the call understand French. So just type the question on the chat box and they will pick it up from here and respond to you appropriately. So I'm just going to do 2 more persons and we will call it a day. So let's have Oluwabumi Kayode. Can you unmute and ask your question?
Hello, good afternoon. Yeah, please, I have little challenge about uploading my the form, the consent form. So I've tried all means to upload it, but it's not uploading. I don't know, is there any alternative to sending it? Thank you.
Okay, apologies for that, Oluwabumi. Sincerely apologize. So you can respond back with your commitment form since you're having difficulty uploading it. Hi, Oluwabumi, please can you mute yourself?
Okay, I'll do that right away.
Thank you. So you can respond back with your commitment form via the email from the Brace team that you got. So just reply back to the congratulatory message you have been selected for the Brace So just respond back and attach your commitment form. So this goes to every other person that's having the same issue. Respond back to the email with your commitment form. Thank you. So one more person and we'll call it a day. Let's do David Michael. Kindly unmute and ask your question. Okay, I'll do one more. Abdullah Anas will be next.
Right. Good afternoon. So this is David Michael. So I want to understand if this program is academical program or is a practical program, and if we are going to be given a certificate after the participation.
Okay, so it's both academical and practical. If you listen to my colleague who gave an in-depth into the Brace program, it's a combination of both. We would have the academic part, we have the virtual learning part, we'd have mentorship in it, and we also have practical field studies and learnings, but that is for those only for those who have been able to complete it to the end, because those are the persons we call our Brace alumni. If you do not meet up with all the other requirements, you will not be able to go for the practical part. But then it is a very practical learning. Even the trainings on Brace is not just academic. It is something you can incorporate immediately into your business, and there is a certificate at the end of the program, certificate that would increase and boost your credibility that you have learned a couple of things, or literally almost everything as it pertains to climate and agriculture. And you can also use the certificate to do a whole lot of other things. So there's a certificate, but that is only for those that have completed the 6 weeks training, taken all their assessments, watched all the modules, and done their pre and post diagnostic tool survey. I hope that answers you. So let's have Anas Abdullahi as the last person.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Please, I just have a question considering the modules. Is this something that I can read through, take my assessment within like few days, or I just have to follow it to the end of the weeks? This is my question. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't hear you, Anas. Please, can you come again? You are muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Okay. Good evening. Can you hear me now?
Yes, louder.
Okay, what I'm asking of is about modules. Can I take my classes at once, or it just have to be on weekly basis till the end of the program, or I can just take my modules and my assessment within some days or a week? This is my question. Thank
you. Okay, thank you so much for the question. I can see like a couple of persons too have asked that. It is a self-paced. Self-paced meaning you can take it at your own pace. If you can finish the whole 6 modules in 1 week, yes. But I wouldn't advise personally that it's not effective. It's not effective learning for you to take all the modules in 1 week. But it's self-paced. The more you finish one module, it unlocks and it takes you to the next module. And why we advise people to take 1 module per week is because you now have live interactive sessions that would now help you to better understand the modules you've listened to previously, but it is something you can take in less than 6 weeks. Okay, so apologies, would not be able to respond to all the questions. That is why I said go to your email, click on the WhatsApp link that is provided from the Brace team, and log into the join the WhatsApp group or community we have. It's going to provide you with support. Anytime you can ask your question, we have our team members there on the call. They would readily be available to answer you or with any issue you might have along the way throughout the 6 months Brace journey and even beyond. So I'll be calling on the membership team, who would be that's my colleague Nusa Obano. He's the membership coordinator here at AFC. I understand that a couple of persons have heard, oh, we're a community. We have a community of agripreneurs. So aside being a Brace participant, I just want to bring it up. Being a Brace participant does not automatically mean you are part of the AFC community. You would have to also join into our community, meet up our criteria. But then joining the AFC community means beyond the Brace program, you get to enjoy additional information, programs, initiatives, and initiatives and services we offer our community members. So hi, Nusa, over to you. Nusa will be giving us an in-depth into everything you would be benefiting from joining our community.
Hi, Anand. Thank you so much. And please confirm that you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, good. So once again, a big congratulations to our Brace participants. This is a very strategic part to your journey as the AFC community member. And as my colleague have said, the Brace program is just an aspect of the AFC community. So I would like to know how many of us on the call are members of the AFC community already. If you're a member of the community, type I'm a change maker in the chat box to let me know community members in the group. And for those that are yet to become community members, you are missing out on a lot. The AFC community is a membership-oriented community. We help our members to scale. And as you can see on your screen, these are the highlighted benefits we offer to community members. We are always keen on seeing our members access and also strengthen their agribusinesses. We help them to prepare their agribusinesses to enter new African and global markets through our programs and initiatives. We also refer our entrepreneurs to funding opportunities, to speaking opportunities, and also to exhibition opportunities, because we are keen on seeing our entrepreneurs have that visibility that they want. Like is written on the slide, we also have a community of entrepreneurs across Africa, and these entrepreneurs are engaged through a designated dashboard and also through the AFC membership group, the WhatsApp community, the Telegram community, the LinkedIn and the Facebook community. So as an entrepreneur in the AFC community, we always share opportunities on all our platforms. We also try to engage in networking sessions and discussion forums. So we do more knowledge sharing session in the WhatsApp community, and we have a regular monthly first Thursday events where we invite industry experts to come speak to entrepreneurs on shared experiences, on knowledge that they can gain and also adopt to their practice, to their businesses. We also have the visibility of our entrepreneurs. We have a marketplace where our members can upload their products and also reach out to other customers or clients as well. Lastly, we give our entrepreneurs exclusive access to networking events, to speaking engagements, and to other opportunities that help scale their businesses. Having listed out the opportunities, we also have a criteria for non-members to become members. So this is the marketplace. As you can see, you are advised to log into your dashboard and utilize the marketplace function where other entrepreneurs can see your products. All you have to do is to click on the upload your products, insert your product description, the prices, the tags that your product or services is about, and also a link to where potential buyers or potential customers can access your products. We only create the visibility for you. You have to put your direct link, maybe the link to your social media handle where a potential buyer can reach out to you and engage with you and facilitate transactions with you. Good. So this is just the simple step you need to take to become a member of the community. For our non-members on the call, first thing, you must meet the 3 criteria that we require, which is that you should own an agribusiness or work in an agribusiness where you can make top decisions about the business. Second is that the agribusiness that you work for or you own must be in existence for at least 6 months prior to when you sign up to be a member of the community. So we require that you should send in or upload a CSC document or any form of document that speaks to your agribusiness activities as well. And lastly is that you should have a social media presence or a website. Because of our goal of helping entrepreneurs scale and creating that visibility for them, we want our entrepreneurs to also have a background of a social media presence or a website where the activities you do in the agri-food space can be seen by a larger audience. So on our own hand, we scale that impact, we help you amplify your work through our initiative and our programs. So the first step to become a member is to visit the AFC Hub, www.afchub.org, or you are accustomed to our social media handles, be it Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, where you can see our activities and our initiatives. You click on the join the community icon where you logged into, where you type that www.afchub.org on your browser or your phone. Then once you click on that join the community, you'll be taken to a new registration page where you'll be asked some questions about your personal and business information. This is just a way of us getting your data because we work with data of our entrepreneurs to be able to streamline the opportunities we give to them. And we require that the information or data you put or you provide should be accurate because we work with accurate data. And once you fill the form, all you have to do is to click on submit. Once you click on submit, you'll be temporarily taken to your membership dashboard where you can view our activities, but cannot partake in it until your registration will be verified by the admin hand. Typically, it takes 24 to 48 hours to verify potential members. And once you've been verified, you receive a confirmation email and you'll be able to access your dashboard with all the features unlocked to you. And you'll also be added to our WhatsApp community, our newsletter, where we receive our news updates every week. And whatever opportunity comes our way, we share with our community audience as well. So I will be rounding up and I'm available for questions. So whoever have some issues or potential members are looking to sign up, can drop your challenges in the chat box and I'll attend to you. Thank you, and over to you, Anna.
Thank you so much, Nosa. So Nosa has said it all. If you are not part of the AFC community, you are missing. So kindly go to www.afchub.org and join our community. There's much more. Brace is just a fraction of what we do here at AFC. So do well to sign up to our community, and we look forward to welcoming you. We look forward to promoting your business and your initiatives and what you are currently doing. So I'll be handing over the mic to the Brace program coordinator, Amaka, who will be coming back up to share the next step, what you should expect after this session. Hi, Amaka, over to you.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you, everyone, once again, for staying to this moment. Really appreciate that. So for next step, like Victory actually explained, we are going to get an email with the default password and the link to access the Brace portal. So once you get the link, you should first complete the pre-diagnostic tool as was explained, and then you start the Module 1 course. After the Module 1 course, like Anna also explained, you can continue with other modules. It's a self-paced learning. However, we're going to have a live interactive session on Friday next week. That is 7th of March, 2025, where we're going to bring an industry expert that have in-depth knowledge of what Module 1 entails, to help explain further some of the things you've learned in the portal, and also answer some of your questions that maybe you don't understand or you need more clarifications to. So you can pen down some of these questions or some of these clarifications and come to the live interactive session next week, Friday, so you can be able to share your questions and get correct answers from the industry experts. Please ensure to always check your emails regularly, because we always update, we always send emails, and also through WhatsApp group chat that we have created. And like Anna also said, that kindly use the one that was sent via the Brace email. The Brace email is brace@afchub.org. That's our official email for Brace. So kindly check your email every now and then to get the updates from us, and also check the group chats to get information. If probably the information you want is not in the group chat, you can as well chat the admin in the group or drop it in the group as well. We always ensure to explain and answer and support whatever issue you're having or challenges you're having, be it in the portal or try to understand some of the things you learned in the portal. So moving on, you receive that email from us and you start your learning journeys. Thank you once again for participating in this onboarding session today, and we hope to see you next week, Friday, on the 7th of March, 2025, by 3 p.m. West African time. Before we go, would like to also encourage you to stay connected. And I have mentioned that before, and I'm also echoing it again. We have our social media platforms. We have our Facebook handle, we have our LinkedIn, we have our Instagram, we have our Twitter. We also send out email blasts to all our participants. So kindly always check and follow us as well, so that you'll be updated on some of the things we do aside the Brace program, like Anna rightly said. On that note, I would like to congratulate you once more, and we're gonna call it off for today and see you on Friday. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Anna, for being a wonderful moderator. Thank you, team members, and bye.
Thank you so much, Amaka. Just as Amaka has shared, kindly follow us on all our social media. And also, you can always also share your feedback, subscribe to AFC newsletter, Instagram, Twitter, Xthread now, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, regardless of everywhere you are. And then don't forget to sign into our community. The Brace team will also be dropping the link to joining our community in the WhatsApp group, so you can click it from there, and it just takes you less than 3-5 minutes to sign up to the community. And if you are eligible, you'll be verified to join our community. So I want to also emphasize that some people were having issues with the timing. It is 3 p.m. West African time, Nigerian time again. So 3 p.m. it would be 4 p.m. I think in Ghana, different time zone. So take note, it is 3 p.m. Nigerian time. But before we call it a day, I want everyone to go to the chat box and type in, I am ready to learn, be learn and learn. Let's have you. This is an affirmation that you are going to hold on to for the next 6 weeks. I am ready. I am set to learn, relearn and unlearn. Let's have people come into the chat box. Type, I am ready to learn, unlearn and relearn. Yes. Okay. Before we let you go, let's have you affirming that you are set to learn, because we want you to put in this commitment that you are ready to learn, because it is a 6 months is a very tiresome journey. So people would lose interest on the way. So put in this commitment that I am set to learn, unlearn and relearn. Great. Thank you so much to everyone. I am seeing it. I am ready to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So till we see you again next week for the Brace first live interactive session, do have an amazing weekend, and I'm wishing you an amazing learning journey from all of us at AFC. Bye, everyone. Bye.